Good morning, good morning. What's up, Blade? Long time no see, bro. Good to see you, man. Hold on, let me. All right, we had an echo. Good morning, Netron. What's up, man? Letta, Bill. Good morning. No worries. Donald Chappell. Good morning. Blade Raw. Good morning. Two Way. What's up, bro? Keith. Daniel. Good morning. All right, so looking at. Hold on, let me get Mitch in here. Got the hiccups this morning. There we go. Sorry, trying to get Mitch in here. Mitch shall be gracing us with his presence today. Let me find him. There we go. All right. Good morning, John Ennis, Mustang, Edlard. What's up, guys? All right, so yeah, watching AMD. This is day 5 with the opening range breakout. We'll see how it goes. Hasn't been working as well as it did last week, this week. But I think it's one of those things where I just kind of have to stick with it and continue to, look for better edge with this strategy, and so that's what I'm going to do. Also have UPL gapping up pretty big here from 76 cents to $1.19. Not bad. Looks like a gas or oil stock. We also have TEAM, definitely a more expensive stock with at $100 right now. Gapping up from 92, so about $8, $7 actually, about $7.10. So decent gap, big percentage gap, about 10%. We also have CGC moving up big in pre-market from 42.77 to 43.83. Doesn't look bad. ROKU gapping up here. Gonna watch this one too. UXIN gapping some. MBOT had a big red day yesterday. It's moving some in pre-market, not a ton though. CRON, another cannabis play, up to around $14, gapping up from 13.66. NBEV gapping up a little bit here from 664 to 673. We have MU, another microchip sector stock. I'm going to be watching this one, see if it continues to trade against the SPY. The SPY is up some in pre-market from 262.96 to 264.27. And so, a bigger gap in the SPY today. We'll see where this one goes as well. What's up, Mike? Yo, yo. Yeah, GEVO. Nice gap up for this one. That's a BPTH from the scanners. What is this? This has to be a split, a 10-to-1 split, it looks like. But BPTH up pretty big, looks like a split. Let's look it up, I'm sure it is. What's up, Johnny? Cast, Biz. The stock market's closed on Monday, guys. Did you guys realize that? I didn't know that. The stock market is actually closed on Monday. Who knew, man? I didn't know it was closed. Appreciate the sub, Jack Addison. Welcome, brother. Appreciate it. But yeah, the market is closed. Yeah, okay, I'll just read two-way since he's helping me out. BPTH, Biopath Holding, announces a 1-to-20 reverse stock split. Float roughly 1.1 million. Still, very, very tiny float. What holiday is it? Oh, it's Martin Luther King Day. Okay. I mean, Martin Luther King was the man. He was the man. If I trade using SureTrader and use margin, is it possible to owe them more than my initial capital? Uh, I guess it would be possible, but I'm pretty sure that as soon as you go over your equity, they're gonna close the trade for you. And so I sure they probably assume that they're not gonna get much of that if they do try to bill people like that. But I'm pretty sure once you would cross over your equity, then then they would probably just close the trade down. Right. Float's right here. Float is this orange one all the way on the very right. Was I long on AMD yesterday? Yeah, I took one short and one long. The second trade ended up working. I ended up selling out of it at about $20 up here. And so, not bad. I'll take it. Got in at, before I closed the stream down, I said my trade idea with this one was to wait for it to break that 1960 level. And, it just worked out really well. 1960 was right here. And so you can see, nice little push once it did break 1960. And that was kind of my idea. I ended up selling up here at 20 for about a 40-cent gain. And so I'll take it. Cut my loss in half on the day. And so, small loss yesterday. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that they don't. I'm sure they probably aren't going to get their hopes up about actually collecting that, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm sure their logic would be might be useless to fight it, especially since they're like overseas, But I don't know. I'm pretty sure they would just exit the position for you though. What's up, Jack? No, I mean, I'm using TEF still. Thinkorswim is just what I use for charts. TYME. Big gap down. What is this from? Yeah, no stress, Daniel. We're going to try to have a drama-free room today. TYME. Alright, so with TYME, it's gapping down a huge amount from 373 to 182. Let's look to see why this is happening. Oh, investor call today at 9. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this one, man. ALRM. Yeah, but there's just no volume on it. Yeah, it's gapping up, about $1.90, but there's just absolutely zero volume on it. There's just none. And so, Yeah, I was looking at that, man. The only news that came out for TYME was good news, Will. So it's like I don't know why it's gapping down like it is. Wow, look at BIOC, down from 3 to 217. It's an offering, Jeremy. All right, that makes sense. Also looking at CLDR now, popping up on the scanner, gapping up some, but low volume as well. SNPS, SPWH, although very low volume here. Overall, it seems the volume's down a lot today. I'm not seeing too much move. Cannabis plays maybe are moving some. Looking at Roku gapping up some as well. What's up, Ashley? All right. But yeah, this week hasn't been great. I mean, so if you just started watching us this week, the previous weeks I was back testing the opening range breakout on AMD specifically, and it went really well. The back testing data showed pretty good results for it, and so then I paper traded it last week. And had good results with it with paper trading, and so this week it just has not been working as well. It's failed 3 out of 4 times this week. And so at the same time, though, it's still really, really early. You know, this is day 4 in this strategy, right? And so it takes at least 20 trades to see what the actual viability of it's going to be. You know, 4 trades really is insignificant. Like I said before, because you get a random distribution of wins and losses. And so hopefully it starts to work. But if not, you know, I'll have to move on and move on to something else. I was also looking at gap fill opening range breakouts, and I think I backtested it before, where if it gaps up 20 cents or more, I trade it in the opposing direction for an opening range breakout. So like yesterday, it would have been a long, right where I got in at 1960, and so I actually did trade this one yesterday. Gap down over 20 cents, go on the upside, and then every time you see that happen, it's actually fulfilled, believe it or not. Let me look at this a little bit better. Put this up for 90 days. Yeah, so every time it's actually done that, it's worked really, really well. And so, for instance, you get the gap fill. Yesterday would have worked beautifully. The day before that was not anything. It wasn't gapping up over 20 cents. The day before that was a long, so maybe this would have been a fail. So that's 1 fail, 1 success. Here's another beautiful gap fill, 2 successes, 1 failure. Another one, beautiful one here, 3 successes, 1 fail. Let's see if this was over 20 cents or not. Looks like it was. Yeah, so this one actually been a fail. Actually, no, this one never broke on the upside. So 3 successes, 1 fail. This one broke on the downside here. But it actually broke the risk, so that's 3 successes, 2 fails. This one was beautiful, 4 successes, 2 fails. This one definitely was over 10 cents. I guess I could count that as a fail. So 4 successes, 3 fails. This one never topped me out on the bottom. Skip that one. Never topped on the top. Skip that one. This one worked really well. So 5 successes, 3 fails. Let's see. I guess that one would have failed too. 5 successes, 4 fails. So that's what I'm looking at with the big gap fills. I know I've back tested it before, but I'm going to have to go back in time and look at it a little bit better. Heading into the 3rd week of January when the yen is weak. Wasn't that on Twitter? Overall market still not sure. Tesla doing layoffs with the small volume made it more U.S. caution. MBOT was great. Yeah, MBOT was kind of a huge parabolic mover, and I guess I'm short biased on it. I mean, it was up so much already. It just depends on whether it actually holds these gains. But I think it was probably a pump. I think this was positive data, right? What's up, Felix? Good morning, man. Yeah, I mean, Keith, I'm not really one to say much because I haven't been doing that great this week. But just, back test your setups, look to see if you can find an edge with them, plan it out that way. And that way, you can never take too much data. So just keep studying, back test the setups. That's kind of the way I approach it. Now, Mitch is off today. Mitch should be off today. He's not in here yet, but I'm sure he'll be here. ZAYO gapping up at low volume. Yeah, Jeremy actually told me about GEVO and what was it, ICPI? IPCI. That's so low volume. Not looking bad. SLB doesn't look terrible either. A little bit more expensive of a stock. CGC, the cannabis plays are really up to though, up to 44, gapping up about $2.23. Cron and BEV, same. They're moving some regardless of anything else. TVIX, VXX, and VXY moving down, so that means the SPA's up. TEAM, TKC. Yeah, BIOC, I was still confused about this one. The news I saw was positive on this one, but it's down so much already. I think somebody said it was misleading news, so they tried to make it look better than it was, or something like that. Also, UXIN is up. IQ is up some. IQ doesn't look terrible. Let's look at the daily chart. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate it, bro. But yeah, Bill, I think I actually saw it because yesterday it had one that said it was in process is what it said, and then today it said completed, and so I'm pretty sure that was probably you. So I appreciate it. HAL showing up on the scanners here. What's up, Enduro? Good morning, man. What's up, Quentin? But yeah, the other thing I was looking at with the opening range breakout, right, is that when it usually stops me out, it does so within like a 10-cent area, right? So like here yesterday, 6 cents, and then the day before it was like 5 or 6 cents. The day before it was like 5 or 6 cents. So it's like if I wait for, that was kind of where the idea came from yesterday, where I'm going to wait for 1960 to break, because 1960 would be effectively 10 cents past this previous high. So like when it breaks 1960, it is actually breaking past this range here, where like this was just kind of a quick wick up and down. And so maybe look at it, maybe I'm going to look at it that way. We'll see though. Yeah, well, I think what expatriated mean, he said if you're right 51% of the time, you're doing good for sure. And if you can be anything over 50%, you're doing better than most people. The thing about it though is like if you want to be able to maximize on that, you have to be using good risk and reward, right? So like, yeah, if you're 50% profitable and you're using 2 to 1 reward versus your risk, then you're going to be pretty profitable. But like you know, if you're using 1 to 2 reward to risk, so your risk is twice as big as your reward, then and you're only 50% profitable, you're going to be losing. And so 50% or better accuracy can be good. You just have to have the risk and reward to profit from it. Johnny Gonzalez says, I'm using Thinkorswim for paper trading. Why is it better to use a broker over Thinkorswim for trading? So Thinkorswim, I love Thinkorswim. I always use them for charts. They're my favorite platform with regard to charts. But they are a U.S. broker. And so if I did use Thinkorswim, which I have, I've traded on Thinkorswim before. I have some old videos on YouTube of me trading on Thinkorswim with about a $2,000 account. But you have to follow the PDT rule. So like I can only day trade 3 times a week, and I have to wait 2 days after each trade for my funds to settle back into my account. And so like the reason I use TradeNet is there's no PDT rule. I can trade as much as I want. I have margin, and there's no T2 rule. What's up, Ice? I think SureTrader and TradeNet are good for different things. I think SureTrader is better for like cheaper stocks. I like the platform on SureTrader more, but it's way more expensive, right? So like, and I think it's pretty close. I think that Tef's platform is very similar to DOS, and it's $15 a month, and SureTraders is like 150. And so, I think they're good for different things. I think they each have their pros and cons. I wouldn't say I like either one of them more than the other. I just, it just depends on what style of trading you have. Other than the PDT rule and the T2 rule, which you're going to get with any U.S. broker, right? You're going to have these with any U.S. broker. Aside from them, yeah, I mean, it's great, but, it's kind of a deal breaker for me just because I want to be able to actively day trade. Wonder where Mitch is at. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate U stock trade either. I think they're all good for different things. Um, I think that U stock trade is good if you don't need margin and like you're just a long trader. Commissions are $1, and so I like U stock trade as well. The problem with that is like they restrict certain stocks, kind of like TradeNet. TradeNet they don't restrict them; they just don't have them. But U stock trade actually restricts certain stocks. They'll label them limited liquidity, even if they have all the volume in the world. And so it's kind of probably a risk management thing. And so that's the biggest flaw in my opinion with U stock trade. Also, the fills aren't great, but they work. I mean, it just depends. What's up, Jono? Eric? All right, good. We got about 10 and a half minutes. Living the dream. That's right, bro. But yeah, SLB up. EBR is gapping up as well. It's a Brazilian stock of some sort. Do I know how to check the float of a stock in Thinkorswim? Let me see if I could figure it out. No. Let me see if I can look it up. Company profile. No. Usually I use other stuff to check, like Yahoo Finance. Yeah, that's what FinViz, Yahoo Finance. I kind of agree with Jeremy. All right, so yeah, watching AMD, EBR, TEAM, CGC, Cron, Roku, UXIN, MBOT, MU. GVO is up, right? It's a split, right? No. Okay, so let's look GVO up. GVO is up. Let's see. GVO put out a release that said them and AV Fuel are partnering to supply sustainable jet fuel for the Business Jets Fuel Green event at the Van Nuys Airport. Yeah, announced that yesterday. Sustainable and renewable alcohol to jet fuel (ATJ), a step towards sustainability event. Yep. All right, guys, we got 8 minutes. Let's do this. Yeah, now where is CEI? Yeah, look at CEI go. I mean, it's... If you look at CEI, the only thing about it is like every time it spikes, it fails, right? And so now the spikes are very minor, you know. But like if you look at the daily chart, we actually looked at this one yesterday. Spike fail, spike fail, spike fail, spike fail, and so every time it spikes, it fails. That's the only main thing I'm looking at. CCCL, yeah, I remember CCCL. This one is, I believe, a construction stock, right? This is a Chinese construction stock. We'll see if it holds the gains or not. We got VIPS popping up on the scanners. VIPS doesn't look terrible either. Let's see if it's actually tradable or not. But it had a big red or a big green day yesterday. It is tradable, so that's good. VIPS may be one to watch. I think Mitch slept in. I don't know. He's not here. But I'll be right back, guys. All right, I'm back. I don't know if I said that, but appreciate the sub, Jack. Welcome, bro. Oh, there he is. They should notify me if, like, Mitch raises his hand. What's up, bro? All right, guys. We got Mitch here.
How's my mic?
Your mic's good, man.
All right, for sure.
Everybody can hear him okay? Test, test.
Testing. All right, let's do this thing. A little late. I was actually showing a friend a little bit about trading, a little bit older, but just was swinging by. I wanted to take a look.
They say you're low. Here, I'll turn you up a little bit.
Yeah, a little low. I can see it in the mic. There you go. Now I think
Better?
it's picking up better. There you go. That should be good.
All right.
Yep. That's a lot better.
Yep. All right, let's do this. I'm going to put the intraday scans up. We got about 8 minutes left, or not 8, about 2.5 minutes left.
Yep. So, hey, man, it's going to be a big day, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Big day for sure. We're pushing through kind of all the major supports. You know, this is going to be really key. You know, are we going to get above this 265 again and then start breaking out towards 270s? Or are we going to get a change today, a change in momentum? You know, we've kind of really held an upward trending line here on the SPY, and we're going to see if we're going to break down. A full-on breakdown would be closing below 256.17, but that would be a big move. So it's closer to the resistance now at that 265.74 levels, up there to 266.
Definitely.
Had a weird move in are you showing up that same move also?
On which one? Yeah,
big,
I'm seeing it there.
yeah, that's a big move. That's the sizing.
For sure.
That's a quick sizing.
My mic is low. Here, I can put it up. Man, our mic's struggling this morning. That should be better now.
All right. MBEV looking kind of in a long-term flag pattern. If you look at it on a 15-minute, you'll see what I mean. There's a nice downward trending line there.
Yep.
Up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3 to that resistance at 685, holding support there very well. Multiple days there, it held in 670s. So that's what I would pay attention today, to see if it breaks down through 670s and heads to that support, which is 660, or if it's going to break out through the 680s, get past that 684, and head towards that 697. It's definitely one that I'm watching.
Looks interesting for sure.
Yeah.
All right. We got 10 seconds, guys. Let's do this.
We get back to watching this. One of the key things I've been doing is I'm only going to be watching the SPY in 15-minute
There's the bell.
chart. MU making a quick down move there.
Yeah, AMD dropping.
I like how it's been going up all day long, you know?
Yeah,
like
also
pre-market. I don't know how AMD is, but
yeah, I mean, one thing I want to see though is I want to see, like, if the first candle's too big, a lot of times it gets wicked out.
There's some strong momentum, swing momentum, buyers stepping in there at MU. I would look for it in the AMD here. There's some big momentum there.
See what the SPY is doing. SPY is dropping some. Still a little too early to tell. VIPS, GVO popping up on the scanners here. VIPS pushing up.
GVO making a move down.
Dropping,
It looks
yeah,
nice.
filling the gap some.
Oh, I wish this one was tradable. This is what I call VWAP fade material.
BPTH spiking up here after that offering. It's up to 4s.
I can't trade GVO, but I would look for maybe a 16 or 410 entry. Look at that. Whew. That thing's trying to fill the gap. That's what you call a gap and crap on GVO.
Yeah.
That hit hard.
For sure. BPTH spiking up, testing the pre-market high at 410. We're at 4 actually.
And VEV hitting those 680s like I talked about. Big buyers at 680. A lot of shares they're going through, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 orders of 3,400, followed by 170, 200 order. Look at that go, like a rocket.
Which one? NBEV?
NB.
Oh, yeah, look at that one.
Someone took big share size there at 680s. So that's his price point. You can use that price point. You'll watch how it reacts at that 680. That's where that long is trapped right now.
AMD
see what happens here.
AMD just filled that entire gap already.
Tiva making a down move there.
MBOT coming pulling down to these 920 level.
There's MBEV getting bought up again at 680s.
All right, let's see. So far at this point in NB on AMD, we have a 43 down to 13 range. So we have a 30-cent range so far. I mean, if I was trading AMD, I might look for the VWAP fade here. The only problem, though, is that this opening... I mean, the opening volume's not terrible, but... Alright, look at the fade maybe on AMD here. Yeah, MBOT breaking down. Kind of a good thing to show for our class yesterday on parabolic movers. And the whole gist of it was that a lot of times these crazy movers end up coming right back down. And as you can see, that's what MBOT is doing. Big spread though. Look at AMD for that fade.
APHA breaking out.
Yeah, it's with the other cannabis stocks. The other cannabis stocks are rolling right now. CGC, Cron, NBEV, they're all pushing.
I'm looking right now at AMRN. Risk would be off 1750. Entry would be in the 1740s. For a VWAP fade. Also, Tiva at 84. Off 88s, but I kind of missed that one already. I would have liked that one on the 90s, but it's having a quick bounce anyways. I would look to see if it rejects right about this level, not above 87. The original trade would have been off the 90s. AMRN up to that 40s. 41 by 47 though on the spread. You got to be tight if you get in this one. Hold it to that 1750. Anything above that, and it could get up there to 1770s.
You know me with AMRN. I think it's dead to me.
Yeah.
I don't play AMRN. I don't like it.
I hear you.
It's not my favorite.
Hey, it's not your stock. It's not your stock, you know?
Yeah. All right, we got AMD pushing up here. Although AMD's had a really, it had a big green day yesterday, gapped up in pre-market, and so we'll see where we go for this one, but it's already had a big green day yesterday.
That Tiva looking interesting now.
2050 level is going to be
One problem is that
significant.
it's the bottom isn't kind of. I always like to see support break, and that's kind of a really tight support there. It hasn't really broken the support.
Yeah, for sure.
AMRN turning back. All right. All right, trying to get in here on AMRN at 1746. I need a bounce here. I think I missed it already. It was a good trade off that 45 area, but that's why I'm trying to get in at 46. Looking for a bounce here. Missed that one. That was a good one. If I should have taken the 1740s, but the spread needed to tighten up for me. I was looking to get up there in 45s, 46 areas. It was 41 by 47. There's Tebow making a good hard downturn.
Yeah, I think AMD does have some resistance at 2050 above here. Oh wait, are you in AMRN?
No.
Okay. And then we got Kron. The cannabis play is really booming this morning. Except for NBEV, man. NBEV just took a dive for the worst, bro. Look at that thing drop. And NBEV is kind of the outlier cannabis stock. It's not an actual cannabis stock. It's a cannabis-infused drink company. And so it's a little bit different than the other ones like CGC and Kron. Yeah, AMD's still in between that range, which is good. The longer it stays in this range, ultimately the better it's going to be. Um, once it finally breaks the range, so it's actually good that it's staying in this range. I guess I would want to see it break on the downside. I think after such a big green day yesterday, let's look at the daily chart. Depends if it gets over 2070s, it could run. All right, AMD pulling down here.
All right, trying to attack Tiva here. We can come back a little bit above VWAP or just that VWAP. Looking for 82s right now. That's my order sitting. NIO looks interesting also.
All right, here goes AMD. About to test these lows. Like I said, I'll probably wait for it to break at least 5 or 6 cents down under this.
That AMD pattern looked good.
I know I told you that fade was there.
Yeah, MU kind of did a VWAP reject.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at, Jack. Is like I'm looking at it to see if it breaks that opening range or not, but
Oof.
testing these lows now though.
Just missed one on NIO, but it's kind of close to that high day. But it looked interesting there. 88s. You could have risked right off of 90s. Looking for a bounce here on Tiva.
All right, here's the break under the lows on AMD. Pulled right back. All right, so I'm in AMD now. Wanted to see it really kind of consolidate under that level here, and actually hold for once. And so in at about 2010. Let's see what we get. There's 08s, 6s. Really, at this point, I'm just looking for it to actually break $20. I think that's the level. Goal in this one is, so I got in about 2010, so like 1980s, 1970s would be good. Let's hope that previous high can turn into resistance here. That's rough, Pat. Don't
All
stress it,
right.
brother.
I'm also looking at AMRN for a bounce here to 38s to get in.
AMD's consolidating under this opening range, which is good, but I want to see that area hold as resistance now. Right at about 2014, 2015 is the area I want to see actually hold.
AMRN looking great. I just needed to bounce one more time.
Down to 6, 7s. See if we get a break under 30s now. 24s. Breaking down. Let's see if it actually breaks under the whole dollar of 20. What's the SPA doing here?
I'm trying to get into AMRN, but
AMD spiking up here.
might have missed that one. That was a beauty. Need one more bounce on that.
AMD spiking up. Maybe gonna look for a VWAP fade in this one. I mean, I'm not gonna look for a VWAP fade, but hopefully it fades off of the VWAP. Down to 16s. Kind of spiking up there like it might, but it's got some resistance at 2020, so gonna look for that to hold, hopefully.
Yeah, I should have taken an attempt already.
Yeah, AMD is trading with the SPA today, which is usually good for the setup I use. Let's just hope the SPA kind of stays down here. might get a spike here on AMD because the SPY is pushing up over the $0.50. Here, just to pull up the SPY. Look at MBEV crash here.
I'm missing out. I'm kind of annoyed. There's multiple.
BOT for red to green move. What's that one doing? Alright, the SPY's back down. Let's hope AMD kind of follows it here. And let's hope the SPY holds under that $0.50.
I'm short there on MU. Risk is 34.42. It's the only stock I saw back up at VWAP. I haven't been watching this one so much, so I got to really just stick tight to my risk here. I only got 200 shares, so it's not that much risk there.
You said you're in AMD? Or no,
No,
MEV?
MU. I
Oh,
just got to
MU.
change my screen there. Hold on.
You're short or long?
I'm short.
Alright, so yeah, you're essentially kind of with me in this AMD trade. Same kind of plan. AMD's at the VWAP as well.
43 right there. Gotta be careful here.
Yeah, MU's starting to squeeze up. AMD might do the same.
Wow. Small loss there. $28. I just missed like 3 or 4 moves, and I paid the FOMO price right there. Hesitation will get to you, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely hesitated there. Saw beautiful, beautiful fades there that I could have taken advantage of.
Still a little early in AMD, but it's definitely following the SPY and the MU, which are both squeezing up right now. So, with that said, I got to be careful. Hopefully, obviously, the SPY pulls back here, but I got to be careful here.
The one that I should have really hit was AMRN. That had great range, great potential.
All right, we're getting a pull back down on AMD here. Out of the 20s. Let's hope it follows through with the fade. 18s. The only problem is if MU bounces here at the VWAP, it could make AMD bounce, but SPY dropping back down, which is good. Nice, Ninja. Good work, bro. Alright, so we're going to bounce back, and MU may make AMD bounce here. Let's see. Yeah, there's the bounce. SPY's dropping, though. Let's just see if what MU does here. But the SPY's looking better for it. SPY back up. There goes AMD following it to a certain extent. So yeah, actually, AMD's actually following the SPY closer than it's following MU. Hopefully the SPY pulls back down here, and that causes AMD to drop, but just going to give it that time. There's the big drop in the SPY. That should cause AMD to tumble down here some. Big drop in the SPY. There's the SPY breaking the lows. That should be great for me, assuming the SPY does break. Just hope it doesn't stay in this consolidation trend. Down to 13s. SPY bouncing a little bit at the low of the day. Appreciate it, Pat. Good luck to you as well. On the 12s. Let's see if we get that break here. Yeah, AMD's definitely following the SPY really closely today. Which hopefully the SPY stays in this downward trend and doesn't start to get like sideways and choppy. But you never really know. Bouncing the SPY. Oh wait, are you out of your what trade are you in? NBEV?
Oh yeah, no, I was in MU. I had an instant stop out, $28.
Oh.
You don't get those very often.
Nah, they don't happen much.
They usually come like what I did. I hesitated 2 or 3 times to get into good positions,
Yeah,
and then
for sure.
just took a bad assessment off MU.
Yeah, it happens, man. Alright, so we got the SPY bouncing back here. Hopefully it stays down, but gotta watch it closely here. Still pretty choppy. But like I said, AMD's actually following the SPY closer than it's following the stock in the same sector, which is MU. Very close to the SPY today. But yeah, the SPY got up to the 64s. I don't think anybody was really expecting that. Most people thought it was going to turn around. I know I thought it was going to turn around at 62s. And so I'm actually surprised the SPY got up this high. Still too early to tell with AMD. Just holding it to my level, sticking to the plan I give myself. That's all I can do on this one. SPY dropping some, which is good for me. See if the SPY can really break past these lows now. It's testing the lows again. See if we get a big follow through move here. There's 15s. There we go. SPY broke the low again. Just don't know if the SPY wants to break here. Just trying down to the 20s. There we go. Let's see if it holds down there now. Threes. There we go, 22s. Yeah, no stress, Brady. Glad to help, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm in a trade right now, Brady. Holding AMD opening range breakout. Looking forward to continue dropping here, but we'll see. Still early to tell. It's definitely following the SPY pretty closely, so with that, I hope the SPY washes out, doesn't start reversing or anything here.
It's looking good.
Well, the SPY's never could break this low, and it's kind of consolidating down there, which is worse.
Yeah,
Um,
you want to see a break and then break down through 264s.
right, for sure.
That'll be the real definition of it cracking.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
But AMRN, that was a beauty.
The SPY's back down there. I'm surprised AMD's pushing up, even though the SPY is just kind of staying down there. Unless people are anticipating a bounce in the SPY, which could be worse for me, but there's the bounce. AMD's definitely going to bounce now, watch. Oh, came right back down. Looks weaker. Where does that noise come from? I always wonder where that noise comes from. All right, AMD pushing up to 27s, 29s. Still early. It's following the SPY pretty closely here, so just got to stick to my plan. Hopefully we don't get a reversal in the overall market, but MU's pushing up as well. All right, AMD's looking to reverse here. It's up to 32s. Like I said, risk is at 42. SPY bouncing as well with it. But man, this is the fourth day in a row that this strategy has just faked me out. Um, I was talking to Scott about it from our class, and he said sometimes the market checks you a little bit after you test the strategy. Sometimes the market will kind of check you, and I completely agree. SPY pulled back though, but with MU pushing over past these highs, we'll see what we get.
Yeah, I think it kind of been, we one of the things we talked about last night. The next candle in the 5 minute chart opened up at 2012. It would have been real nice for that one to have been more of a 2010 start or 2011 start and then move down. But
Yeah.
you didn't really get that down action at all after entry.
Yeah, no, I mean I got some down action. I got down
Yeah,
at 20 just about, but
you got some, but not as definition to the candles. You know what I
right, it
mean?
wasn't
The next
ideal for
one,
sure.
yeah, the next one's a green candle, and it's a green up move. So,
SPY got rejected. Still early. I mean, it's still like the only problem I have with it right now is that MU is pushing up, which is in the same sector, and so like I don't want one of those. I don't want to move like MU where it breaks the highs. I'm just kind of watching the SPY here. I'm good, Mo. I'm not gonna average down on this one, bro. Spy pulling back down, which should be good
Yeah,
for
I
me.
actually like it. Looks good.
Just about whether the spy actually holds down.
I was watching this DVAX, but it's such low volume. Would have been a risky trade.
Yeah, I definitely agree, Jay Hopper. Spy needs to pick a direction, man. It's indecisive this morning.
I mean, it's all about that. I think that 265 level holding up a little bit.
Yeah.
Need some push if it's going to get above that.
All right, there's the spy breaking the lows or getting close to it, testing those lows again. We'll see if it bounces again here. Obviously, ideally, with AMD following the spy close enough, I wanted to break these lows and actually pick a direction down for once, which it just did. Broke the lows.
Yeah, it
Uh,
looks good. I'd want to see a bounce here. If it bounces, not to get above 2030
there
for
we
you.
go.
If it, I would like it to get hold 2030s.
AMU pulled back too. All right, SPY broke the low. AMU pulled down. Let's see if AMD continues here. AMD spiking back up. SPY bouncing back up.
You see how it's reacting in the 30s? That's
I think
why
it's I think it's
right
more
now
so reacted to the SPY bouncing back up here. The SPY bounced past the
I mean,
low. It kind of broke the
it's
low.
just symmetrical of the pattern right now. This is where the resistance line is, the trend line right now. And so it's holding. Let's see if it closes above 2035, I wouldn't like it. Rejects off that level, we're still fine.
Yeah, I think the SPY is just sideways. And so if you look at the SPY here, sideways, sideways chop. Now, if the SPY breaks this 2460s level, that's probably my cue to jump out. I'm not trying to trade against the SPY. SPY dropping back down some. Yeah, for sure. Just choppy SPY. SPY just needs to pick a direction. You know, the more that the SPY tests these lows and never breaks, the less confident I am in my trade. Just because the more chance that the SPY is gonna spike up here and then run, and I'm gonna get caught in that subsequent move. And so, want to see the SPY look weak, but SPY looking stronger here. Whoa, weird move on the SPY. What happened there? Does anybody else get that big wick that just appeared on the SPY?
Nope.
Weird, man.
Let's see if it gets above 2660 here.
All right, AMD getting close to breaking the high of the day here. Ugh, my phone's ringing.
Call from.
I don't know who that was. Ugh. Great, I look back at this one. AMD about to break that high. I gotta get out here if it breaks. Yeah, another choppy day with AMD, man. And I've just been getting caught in this chop every day with the opening range breakout. It was just a bad week to start it with live money.
All right. Starter in AMRN. Did I have a starter in AMRN?
All right, it's at 42s. If it gets back up to 45s or 46s, I just got to get out of this one. So watching it closely, but probably going to get stopped out here. I think a lot of people are going to start buying this on the upside on its breakout, so got my hand over the cover button. Letting it test, but... All right, I'm out. $105 loss. But man, this is what's crazy to be in the market, right? I test this strategy for like weeks, and then the 1 week I used live money, this thing failed 4 days in a row, which is crazy to me, you know. It's frustrating when you test something and then it just fails 4 times in a row. The 1 week you decide to use real money with it, but maybe I should go back to paper trading this strategy until I can really kind of get a handle on it.
Be careful here, guys. $30's my out here.
Which one are you in?
AMRN. I'm trying to add some here, and then I could risk. $30's is my risk now, guys. I don't want it to close up past 26 really, because it has a resistance right there. Just got to hold tight now.
Yeah, I'll pull you up.
I want to see the SPY get back over 264.60. You can kind of keep an eye on that for me, John. I'll keep an eye on this stock.
All right, let me pull the SPY up.
That's really what's going to get me out. Also, if I see that just spike up there, but it's near the end of this kind of trade. It's a VWAP fade, but I have to stick tight to my risk. Can't let it go past my risk. All right, right here is going to be the big test.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm out of it already, Keith. It's like I said, though, like, It's frustrating, but it's just kind of the process of trading, right? Like last week when I traded it, it was 3 out of 4 successful days with the strategy. I had 3 out of 4 profitable trades. The week before that, it had almost 100% success with the strategy. And so, like I said, I was talking to Scott yesterday, and I kind of agree with what he said that like sometimes the market checks you, and I think that's what I'm seeing this week. You know, like even though I took the data from it, back tested it, everything like that, I think the market's kind of checking me right now, which is frustrating for sure. But you know, it's still a process. We're only 5 days in, 4 fails, 1 success, and so you know, it's a testing process, regardless of what happens. And it's just something I'm just gonna have to keep looking at. Like I said, maybe I can go back to paper.
What's the SPY doing? All
The
right,
SPY is
testing.
breaking over the 264.60 level.
Yep. I want to see that hard down move there, not get through that 60. All right, that's looking better for me there.
Yeah, that's the only thing though. Like, I kind of feel the same way, Ramshaw, where it's like the market's kind of weird like that, right? Like, if I go back to paper next week, then all of a sudden the strategy will start working, and so it's just a process. Like I said, the reason I'm testing it and I'm kind of making these videos about it is so people can kind of see the viability of the opening range breakout. You know, like regardless of what happens with this account, I think it's important for people to see kind of the process of like testing and trading a strategy. I think that's important for people to understand and see. And yeah, I mean, regardless of what my results are, it's about the process of it, so people can kind of see how you do it and how you test the strategy. Maybe I jumped in too soon using real money. Maybe I got a little antsy with it, but I think that up until this week, it showed really positive results, and so it's just kind of one of those things where I'm not going to beat myself up too much over it. My account can handle small swings like this. I have a large enough account to handle small swings like this. And like I said, maybe I can go back to paper. Maybe I can trade different variations of the opening range breakout that might be more favorable with the strategy I'm using. And so I'll think about it this weekend, maybe make a video about that one as well. Maybe
Okay,
so.
one part right here. This next candle should do it. It's either going to break out through that 1730 or I'm going to let it break down through the 1717s. Here's a push up. Let's see if we get a rejection.
Yeah, Isaac, I think so, man. I think so. Either that or, you know, make a million fake accounts and start trying to troll me. You know, that's pretty common too. Right. Yeah, that's kind of how the market is two-way. Go back to paper next week. Oh, opening range breakout works like a charm. And that's what I was saying. Like, yeah, you could criticize me and say I'm a bad trader or whatever it is, but like I've uploaded like all the process that I've done for it, and like if you disagree with the process, that's fine. But you know, I think the logic made sense, and maybe this is just one of those weeks where it's just not working that well, and it'll start working next week. I'm just like I said, I'm just gonna stick with it, and you know, to be honest, like I make enough from like YouTube and like everything else to where if I have to get another student account, like that's fine, you know. But obviously, I'd like to make this one stay viable, and it just depends, right? Let's look at the 5-minute and see if that type of opening range breakout on 3 candles is better. Okay, so yeah, this is one of the things I'm taking from it. Yeah, the market will check you, man. It's like I was talking to Scott, like I said, and like the market will check you, right? Like you back test the setup, it works well. You know, it has like 75% accuracy. You paper trade it, paper trading goes well. You have like 3 out of 4 profitable days, and then real money, 1 in 5, you know, or 1 in 4 profitable days. And so it's like, yeah, market kind of trolls you a little bit, but that's okay. You know, goal of this channel is just so people can learn. You know, maybe what learn to do and what not to do. Maybe I jumped in with live money too soon, but
Gotta be careful here. Getting tested.
yeah, Sid. As soon as the market says, as soon as I say I'm ready to go live, market says no soup for you, and the market says no, almost had it. You know. Also, shout out to TradeNet if anybody's interested. TradeNet's 20% off sale ends on Monday, and so if you're interested in using the broker that Mitch and I use, they do have their 20% off sale going on right now. I'll post that link if anybody's interested in signing up. You can go through my link, help support the channel.
Can't let 32s get filled there. There's no 32s filling right now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, sometimes it feels that way, Keith. I mean, it's a big enough channel to where I'm not saying the algos are doing it, but that other bigger traders could be doing it. But with AMD, it's definitely not happening that way because AMD is a larger float, more voluminous stock, and so even if they did, they would have to take a pretty big position to go against me. What's your risk in this one, Mitch?
It's right above right now. The problem is the spread opened up. It should be 30, but with the spread being like this, I can't just see shares being filled on the 32 side.
SPY really squeezing up, man, so I'd be careful.
Oh, there you go. I see that's 5. I'm out. That's
Yeah.
all I needed to hear.
Hey, bro, I'm watching your back, bro. I'm watching your
Like
back.
I said, why did it break? It broke to 265, guys.
Yeah, this is the squeeze in the SPY we're talking about here.
That's a
Look at this.
huge squeeze. Huge.
Yeah, look at it. I see that, man. I'm like, oh no.
Get ready to see some pattern reversals.
Yeah, for sure. Look at this. SPY squeezed. How big was this squeeze? $1.
That thing squeezed like no tomorrows.
Yeah, man. The SPY went parabolic quick. All right, so this is thoughts at the end of this week, right? And I'll make a video about this. But my thoughts on at the end of this week, right, is that maybe the 3 candle opening range breakout is more viable. At least on days when it's choppy, right? So you get moves like this. This would have been the 3 candle opening range where you look at the first 3 5-minute candles and then wait for that range to break, right? So that range would have broken here. And then you get a nice move up. And so I think maybe looking at it that route, if you look at the last few days, that route would have worked pretty well both times here. Yesterday as well. So like maybe I'll look at that one. Here's another example. You have 1, 2, 3. You wait for that range to break. That range broke up here. That would have worked out well. And so I'm just going to be doing some back testing this weekend. Let's look at this one. Yeah, even the day before, 1, 2, 3, you get that 3 range break down here. Nice little follow through. 1, 2, 3. This one never really broke that range, but kind of a cancel out. This one, maybe not worked as well on that one. That would have been a fail. Yeah. Yeah, I think every trader's probably thought of that, Netron. What if you just do the opposite? Whatever trade idea I have, I'm just going to do the other end of it. Yeah, I could trade NBEV, Ramsha. I'm kind of looking at the fade on that one. I'll probably be done for the day. We'll see. But at least the way AMD has been trading the last few weeks, maybe the 3 candle range breakout looks a little bit better. Unless you get like a big volume follow through like this one. I think that might be reasonable, but if not, the 3 candle one looks a little bit better. I'll have to back test it some. The only problem is like days like this, right, where you get these big moves. It still would have worked, but the range is going to be bigger. Yeah, let's look at it. The opening range on NBEV would have broke here. No, I would have followed through. That would have been a successful one today. Yesterday would have been one too. I would have failed here. That's 2 and 1. 2 and 2. 3 and 2. 4 and 2. What would this one be? I guess that would have been a success, but kind of close. 6 and 2. 7 and 2. 7 and 3. 8 and 2. 9 and 2. 10 and 2. Yeah, the opening range breakout on NBEV has been working really well. 11 and 2. 11 and 3. 12 and 3. 13 and 3. 14 and 3. 15 and 3. Wow. Wait. 16 and 3. 17 and 3. 18 and 3. Wow, man. Hey, definitely, bro. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what we get with AMD. If I do AMD, maybe I'll look at a mix of different ones, right? Like NBEV, like I said, 17 and 3. Let's see what that percentage is for opening range breakouts. Knowing my luck, though, if I switch to NBEV, so 17 out of 20 was the accuracy rate, and that is 85% with NBEV up until the 19th. So in the last month, 85% accuracy for NBEV with the opening range breakout. So that's interesting here. We'll see what we get with it. But yeah, like I said, if I switch to NBEV next week, AMD is going to start working. NBEV won't. Kind of the way the market's been treating me.
What you stressing? You stressing?
Oh, no, I'm not stressing. I'm just joking about it. I'm just joking about the market.
That's what happens, honestly, when you kind of just change strategies. You got to go through the growing pains of learning how to trade the strategy.
Oh, for sure. And that's why I was trying to tell people it's still a weekend. Like, I'm using bigger sizing, which I think was necessary at a certain point to scale up in sizing, but it's a weekend, you know, like I'm not beating myself up too much over it. I just have to tune out the hate. Like, people see my thought process on it, and they understand why I was trading it this week. And so it's not like, you know, with AMD, it's not one of those trades where it's like I'm making a mistake today. It's one of those trades where I'm just sticking to the plan, and the plan didn't work, and that's part of trading. And so, you know, if people want to hate, that's fine. But I think people should be appreciative. I'm testing these strategies with, you know, results and stuff like that to see how they go, so people can make their own educated decisions on whether it's viable or not. Yeah, for sure, Samuel. That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, when I back tested it on AMD at least, Netron, it was super accurate, you know. And this is like, watch, like if I go back in time and look at these results for AMD, like you'll see kind of you'll see what's aggravating about it, right? Because it's like up until, let's see, where did I start with live money? On the 14th, right? So one green trade, but right up until last week, two successes. Two successes, one fail. Three successes, one fail. Four successes, one fail. Five successes, one fail. Six successes, one fail. So like if I go back in time, seven successes, one fail. Eight successes, one fail. Eight successes, two fails. Nine successes, two fails. Nine successes, three fails. 10 successes, three fails. That one's break even. 11 successes, three fails. That one's 11 successes, four fails. 12 successes, four fails. 13 successes, four fails. And so 13 and 4 in the last, what is this? In the last month, right? With AMD, it's had 13 successful opening range breakouts and 4 failures in the last month. Right, and so that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes the market checks you. It's like, yeah, 13 and 4, that's great, super high accuracy. The 1 week I used live money, 4 fails in a row, 4 failure days in a row, and so it's kind of it's funny to me. I can only laugh at it and look at it in good fun, because you know, hey, that's all you can really do at a certain point. But still early, only a weekend. Hey, nice two-way. Killing it with those penny stocks, man. Good job, bro. Yeah, maybe that might work, Rod. I think that the whole logic with the opening range breakout though at this point was like, okay, so if it gives you a 1-to-1 reward to risk ratio, and it has a high accuracy rate, right? So like up until this week, AMD in the opening range breakout had a super high accuracy rate. It was like, you know, like I said, it was like 76%. And so with that high accuracy rate, you're only going to get organically a 1-to-1 reward to risk target on it. And so like with that said, you know, when it is successful, you need to make sure to get that entire 1-to-1 reward, right? Because if you don't, the accuracy is not going to be as beneficial, right? And so it's one of those trades where, you know, it has a high accuracy and 1-to-1 reward to risk. So it's not like the fade where we look for like a 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 reward to risk. It's a little bit different than the fade, to where, you know, it has a high accuracy rate and 1-to-1 reward target. So like you're profiting off of the high accuracy rate, not super good risk and reward. And so when it does work, I just think you need to make sure you get the entire 1-to-1 target, because if not, you know, the times you lose are going to affect it, because you're going to be losing the same amount as your wins. And like the whole point is to keep your wins and losses roughly around the same amount. And so that way, you know, you can just take advantage of the higher accuracy, if that makes sense. And so, yeah, for sure. I mean, the good thing about this week is that my losses were pretty even for the most part. All in between like 80 and $100 most of the time, except for one day. And so, you know, at least my losses were consistent. What do you mean ADX PPO strat, Netron?
Watching Kron, wanted to buy it there in 30s, but order didn't get filled. Need to pull back here.
And yeah, for 20% off trade net packages, like I said, the sale, the New Year's sale is only working up until the 21st, so 3 more days. And so if you're interested in taking advantage of the New Year's sale and use the broker that Mitch and I use, you can go through my link, check it out, and I just posted the link there. But yeah, now at this point, it's about testing the 3 candle opening range breakout, and that's probably what I'll do some for. Just go back and test this.
Cron looking strong there. Missed out on that breakout.
Yeah, we got the hater back in the chat. I'm just not even going to acknowledge him and just ban him as soon as I see him. I'm looking at CGC, though. CGC's right around the VWAP. It's right up here. Risk, I guess, could be at 44.75. That'd be a good risk and reward, but let's see what the SPY's doing. If the SPY's starting to spike up here. I mean, I don't know, day trader. All I could say is my experience hasn't been the same, man. So reach out to Tefs. I told you the Tefs email the other day, but I don't know, man. Right, for sure. In 8 minutes, he'll be back. But yeah, like I said, I'm just not gonna acknowledge him. That's what he wants. I'm not gonna start the drama. Oh, Mac Hill. All right, I'll reach out to him, man. I have Mac's email. I can reach out to him, day trader. Message me on Twitter, and I'll try to help out. But like I said, I mean, that's up to them. I've never had that happen for me before. Somebody said it took them 9 days, but usually it's pretty quick. But yeah, reach out to them, man. They may be flooded since it's the sale. Right. I'll check it out, Netron. It's one of those things, like, anytime I see a new strategy, I want to back test it, kind of like I did with the opening range. But the opening range has been a cruel, cruel person to me this week. Yeah, VIPS is kind of consolidating here. It's got a low down here at 690, highs up here at 706. When it breaks out of that range, it may be okay. Also on the scanners, LEDS and NNA. Very low volume. MU squeezed up way bigger than most of these other ones. But yeah, at this point, there's a few things I got to do this weekend. Like I said, I'm going to start looking at the 3-minute opening range or the 3-candle opening range breakout. See the viability of that, specifically when it's like really choppy. There's a few indicators that it looks like whenever it does work really well with the 3 range opening range breakout. And so gonna look at that and kind of see the viability of that. But CCCL, BPPH. I think CCCL is a Chinese construction company.
MU showing breakout signs. See what happens here.
XXII broke out some this morning too. You said MU?
Yeah. AMD breaking out also.
In BEV, I was kind of looking at, huh?
Kron was a good buy down there. It's holding that flag well now. If it breaks to 1450, look at the daily chart.
Yeah,
There's no resistance until 1523.
I was looking at NBEV for a fade earlier. It would have followed through nicely there.
See what happens here with the SPY. It's still playing games.
Yeah, for sure. Sideways still. I think the volatility from this last few weeks is gone on the SPY.
Yep.
It's not going to be as viable with some of these moves. Kind of torn on CGC. I've been looking at it for a fade. I don't know whether I want to take another position today or not. I'll probably switch to caution and not look into it. Although I do think the risk reward is pretty tight relative to like the trade itself. Risk could be about 37 cents. Reward could be down to about 70 cents or so. Maybe a little late now, but CGC was one I was looking at. Real.
MBV breaking through the low there.
Yeah, I made a yesterday. I had a good trade on AMD. The second trade I got into, I cut the loss in half. I made about $50 on it. T America. Yeah, I know. That's kind of what I'm saying. Todd says, no offense, but that strategy sucked this week. Not sure, not really sure why. Yeah, it's like I said. If you look at the last month, which I just did a minute ago, it had like 17 successful opening range breakouts in the last month and three fails, or four fails, three or four. And then this week, it literally had four fails and one success on it. So it's like the strategy just didn't work this week for whatever reason. Probably has to do with just the overall range and choppiness of the market itself, maybe volume. But yeah, it just didn't work as well this week for sure. I'm gonna stick with it though. Maybe change a few things with it, but gonna stick with it. Knowing my luck, if I stop doing it, the opening range breakout will work super well next week. So it's still a little early to tell. It's only been 5 days. I think you need 20 at least to really get a good idea of whether it's gonna work or not. But we'll see. No, I'm from Louisiana, Blade. Right, that's what I was thinking as well. Like I actually back tested the 1 minute range breakout that you kind of showed us, Todd. The only problem with that is that it's so choppy in that first 1 minute that a lot of times it's not going to work as well. And so it's like, yeah, the 1 minute would have worked this week, but the other times I back tested it, it just wouldn't have worked as well.
Looking like we might get a breakout here in MU.
Yeah, for
Breakout.
sure. I actually agree, Todd. He said Bellafiore said traders have to know several strategies and when to use them as the market changes month to month. Yeah, for sure. And it makes sense why. You know, because sometimes the strategy will work well. And it's kind of like I said, like the brutal thing in trading is like you back test the setup, get good results, everything looks promising, you start using live money, the strategy just immediately stops working. But it's kind of what you said, the market changes from month to month. And with January being a new month, maybe it just hasn't been working as well. Uh, no, I'm not from Bourbon Street. I'm not from New Orleans at all. Is trading a big thing over there as far as its social relevance? What do you mean in Louisiana? No, I don't know many
All
traders
right,
in Louisiana.
I'm long here. 300 shares on MU at 35.10, risking off 35 here. I'll do off 35.04, which is the support down there. I could do all the way down to 35, but I feel like I got a good entry for a long breakout here.
Short or long?
Long.
Okay.
See the SPY just break out there, and that's why I took this trade.
Yeah, I'm right there with you this week, Todd. The good thing is like I'm learning to handle my emotions better. I understand like the strategies are not always going to work, and maybe I have to understand the market conditions a little bit better to implement a different strategy when the market acts like this. Not going to beat myself up over it. Like I said, like if I have to get another student account, I'm fine with that because the goal is just to continue moving forward.
All right, paying myself at this. I wanted to do 20s, but I got 19s. The market order filled me down to 17. I wanted 19s there. Now let's let it break out to 30s and above. It would be nice to see this big resistance break right now on the SPY 265.75.
Looking good for you,
Big,
man. Where's your reward target?
well, It honestly depends on how much we get volume right now. First, next level is 30, but after that, it can continue. It can be like an all day.
Plus, SPY's pushing up nicely here with it.
Yep, that's what I'm seeing.
What's your
I
entry?
wanted Kron, but I wanted it back when it was down at 1430s,
What's your entry on MU?
35 tenths.
Okay, that's pretty good. No, I don't, Eric. What is it?
Like see like my entry hold here is 3510. We have this 3507 that was really big there. Now that we've taken some profit, let's risk right up to that 3507. That 90 in May would be nice to hold there.
I might get in CGC here with a small position for this fade. Let's see. Risk could be 60 or so. Not terrible. Get in with a small size though.
Small breakout. Let's see if we get a continuation. Volume to follow. Volume got bought up at 3520s.
All right, so I'm in
Watch
CGC with
Jackson up there to 30.
I'm in CGC with 75 shares. Going to use a 61 cent risk.
Lots of share volume going through there in the 30s. There's a breakout through it. I'm going to sell 100 right here. And leave the rest break even. Willing to add some here on the pullback.
Good trade, man.
Looks like I've been doing better long than short.
Yeah,
Fighting the market there.
maybe those are more viable right now in this market.
Yep. Might have to go back to my kind of bull flag plays.
Yeah, for sure.
Do pretty well on them. I saw one on Kron that was pretty nice because it went down to even 26. Could have bought that at 30, 1430 at 1028 or 928 your time. That would have been a nice breakout.
Yeah, I'm in CGC with the small size. Just trying to look at the fade here. It looks pretty good. Tight risk, big reward down to at least 87s. And so that's what I'm looking at now. A little spready for sure, but doesn't look bad at this point.
There's a nice breakout at MU to 35s now. There you go. Nice breakout to 40s. 30s.
Yeah, definitely two-way, especially with the strength in the SPY. Long plays seem more viable with the SPYs pushing up as it has lately.
All right, guys, closed the trade there. Got it about $58 back here. I'm looking for a pullback to 35.30s here. Was worried about it hitting that kind of this 50 mark and getting held up here. It was already a great risk to reward there. I only risked 4 cents to capture at first 10, then 20, and then all the way up to 33 cents there. So it's a good trade.
Yeah, it looked good, man.
Can't be greedy.
No,
As much as I want to get all the losses back today, I can't try to just do that in one trade. And you can get yourself into kind of a hairy situation where you lose again. Had to take that
for sure.
profit, felt extended. Can get back in on a pullback.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I'm in CGC. I'm gonna go ahead and close it down. I'll update you guys on what happens with this. Still a little early to tell. Like I said, if you're interested in using TradeNet, you can go through my link and get 20% off. Today's the last time I'm going to be able to post the link in the stream because the sale ends in 3 days and the market is closed Monday. And so here's the link if anybody wants to sign up and help support the channel. And I'll see you guys a little bit later. Good luck in the markets. Hopefully next week gives us better results. We shall see. No stress either way. Just going to continue trudging forward. And hopefully it works out. But good luck, guys. Shout out to Trade Ideas as well. They're cool enough to let me stream their scans every day. And so if you're interested in checking out Trade Ideas, I know they have their open house thing coming up in February. So go check out that link I just posted. And yeah, good luck for the rest of the day, guys. We'll see you all Tuesday. Yeah, no trading Monday. Market's closed. So good luck all. We'll see you all later.